The Other Side of the Fog. Chapter 1. The Man Who Disappeared. Disappeared for half a year, but Shen Feng suddenly appeared in Chen Chen's life. Early that morning, the phone screen lit up, and a short message popped up. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the airport will pick you up. The words were as cold as steel knives, which made Chen Chen's heart suddenly shake. Chen Chen wanted to refuse. I have an important meeting in the afternoon, you let people. Before he finished speaking, the other party's voice came from the other end of the phone. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the airport will pick you up. That kind of domineering and strong made him unable to resist, and his eyebrows were raised slightly, as if he had an order that could not be disobeyed. In the past 6 months, Shen Feng's disappearance has been like a fog, enveloping Chen Chen's heart. Why did he come back all of a sudden? Where did he go? All the questions turned into unspeakable pressure, pressing on Chen Chen's chest. The afternoon sun shines on the busy streets, and the airport exit is crowded. Chen Chen waited in the corner, his heartbeat unable to calm down. Time passed minute by minute, until a familiar figure passed through the crowd. Shen Feng still had that cold and handsome face, with an elusive depth in his eyes. I'm back. He whispered, with unquestionable power in his voice. Chen Chen looked at him, and complex emotions welled up in his heart, hatred, love, and countless unsolved mysteries. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 2. The Hidden Truth. Shen Feng took Chen Chen out of the airport, and there was a silent atmosphere in the car. The outside world was still noisy, and they seemed to be separated by an invisible barrier. Where have you been in the past 6 months? Chen Chen couldn't help but ask. Shen Feng's fingers clenched the steering wheel, with a solemn expression. It's not important, the important thing is that I'm back. Chen Chen's eyes widened. It's not important? I thought we still had something to say. Shen Feng suddenly turned his head, his eyes burning. Chen Chen, do you know what the organization outside is called? Nighthawk. The name was like a cold wind piercing Chen Chen's eardrums. Nighthawk? That's not. Shen Feng nodded. That's right. It was a secret organization that specialized in doing things that were not seen in the light. In the past 6 months, I have been targeted by them. Chen Chen felt a tingling in his scalp. He had never heard Shen Feng mention this kind of thing before. You? How do you get rid of them? Shen Feng smiled bitterly. I haven't gotten rid of it yet. Now, the Nighthawk has set its sights on you. Chen Chen's heart sank, and the world in front of him suddenly became blurred and full of crisis. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 3. A Bizarre Night. That night, Chen Chen was awakened by a rapid knock on the door. Standing outside the door was a man in a strange black robe, with a gloomy face and a cold light flashing in his eyes. Come with me, it's not safe here. The man said in a low voice. Shen Feng appeared at the door, his figure straight. Let him go, I'll deal with you. A sneer appeared on the corner of the man's mouth outside the door. Shen Feng, you are still so self-righteous. Before the words fell, there was a sudden rumbling explosion outside the room, and flames were raging outside the window. At this moment, Chen Chen finally understood that Shen Feng's world had never been peaceful. They were drawn into an unprecedented dark vortex, and the bizarre truth was approaching them step by step. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 4. The Secret of the Misty City. After escaping from the explosion site, Shen Feng took Chen Chen to a secret base called City of Mist. It's not on any map, it's full of high-tech and mysterious symbols. Bizarre paintings hang on the walls, each like a door to another world. This is the heart of the Nighthawk and our only line of defense. Shen Feng explained. Chen Chen touched the painting and suddenly felt that the eyes of the characters in the painting were moving, as if they had come to life. What secrets are hidden here? A hint of haze flashed in Shen Feng's eyes. It's about the order of the world and about our future. The secrets of the Misty City are far more complex and dangerous than they imagined. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 5. Lost and Awakened. Chen Chen was gradually swallowed up by this bizarre world, and dreams and reality were intertwined, making him lose himself. He often dreamed of a mysterious woman named Yeokan, whose singing voice could penetrate the deepest darkness of his soul. One night, Chen Chen saw Yeokan in her dream, and she said softly, "The truth is on the other side, and only the brave can see it." When he woke up, Chen Chen felt more determined in his heart. He is no longer just Shen Feng's shadow, but wants to go out of his own way. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 6: The Battle of Dawn. Finally, the time for the showdown has come. The leader of the Nighthawk appeared, leading a group of extraordinary assassins to besiege the Misty City. In the fierce battle, Shen Feng showed amazing combat skills, and Chen Chen unexpectedly discovered that he had strong intuition and wisdom. The two sides face off in the ruins and fire, and the gears of fate begin to turn. At the last moment, Yeokin's singing came from afar, as if a light penetrated the darkness. Let go, there will be no winner in this war. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 7: Flowers bloom on the other side. The battle is over, and the fog is gradually dissipating. Shen Feng and Chen Chen stood in the light of dawn and saw flowers blooming in the distance. Chen Chen felt unprecedented calm and strength. Perhaps, this is our end and a new beginning. Shen Feng nodded lightly, with a rare softness in his eyes. The two looked at each other and smiled. There was still a long way to go, but the light was already waiting for them ahead. Chapter 8: Lost Memories. Although the light of dawn fell gently, Shen Feng's heart was like turbulent waves. Although the battle in the Misty City has come to an end, a deeper mystery has been unveiled. That night, Chen Chen accidentally discovered a secret room hidden in the deepest part of the base. The door is engraved with ancient symbols, glowing with a faint blue light. Shen Feng stared at the symbol on the door, his eyes were complicated. This is the Gate of Remembrance. Only by finding the key can we awaken the memories that were sealed in the past. Chen Chen looked up and asked, "Is your memory sealed?" Shen Feng nodded, "Not only me, but all of us who were targeted by the Nighthawk. These memories contain truth and power. They decide to venture in and find the forgotten key." The moment I entered the room, the air was filled with a cold and eerie atmosphere. Chen Chen's eyes fell on a scroll, in which there was a woman who was very similar to Yeokin, wearing ancient hanfu and holding strings, and the sound of the piano seemed to echo in the room. "Is this?" Chen Chen exclaimed. Shen Feng sighed, "She is the only memory of my childhood. Her name? It's Yeokin." Chen Chen was stunned. This name actually matched the woman in his dream perfectly. At this moment, a white light suddenly flashed in the room, and the two of them felt surrounded by a powerful force at the same time, and fragments of memory surged back like a tide. Shen Feng's eyes gradually brightened, as if he had returned to the vague but important years. "Chen Chen, I remember." His voice was low but firm. The real purpose of Nighthawk is not just to manipulate people's hearts, they want to open the door to another world. Chen Chen frowned. Another world? That. Shen Feng took a deep breath. A realm full of darkness and light, the source of all power in legends. Nighthawk's attempt to use it to control reality. This discovery made the two feel unprecedented pressure and strengthened their determination. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 9: The Call of the Other World. After waking up from his memory, Shen Feng felt like he was reborn, and he took Chen Chen to the ancient ruins outside the City of Mist, where it was said that the key to the other world was buried. Stepping into the ruins, everything seems to stand still, and the air is filled with stale aromas and decay. Suddenly, Chen Chen felt dizzy, the surrounding scene was distorted, and a bizarre otherworldly scene appeared in front of him, floating islands, distorted skies, and light and shadow like dragons and phoenixes entangled. "This is the of the other world." Shen Feng's voice was in awe. A distant and ethereal voice echoed from the air, "Mortals, upon entering this place, must face their true selves." Chen Chen's heart was shocked, and he suddenly faced the shadows and fears of his past, childhood loneliness, conflicting feelings towards Shen Feng, and self-doubts that he had never faced. This other world is not just a place, but a testing ground deep in the soul. Shen Feng also confronted his past mistakes in this illusion. How many people did he sacrifice to protect? Are those dark decisions worth it? The two stood side by side, struggling between the light and shadow of the other world, and gradually understood that the real strength is not in external objects, but in the courage to face the truth. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 10: Broken Alliance. Returning to reality, Shen Feng and Chen Chen found that there was an unusual tension inside the Misty City. It turns out that there is another force lurking in the City of Mist, a secret organization known as the Illusion Watchers. This group of people believes in otherworldly powers and firmly believes that only by coexisting with darkness can they control the future. They forced Shen Feng and Chen Chen to choose sides, join them and accept the baptism of otherworldly powers, or be seen as an enemy and disappear into darkness. An invisible power struggle is brewing in the shadows. Chen Chen objected, we cannot be controlled by darkness, real power is used to protect rather than rule. Shen Feng was silent for a long time, and finally clenched his fists, I would rather resist with you, even if the whole world turns away from us. The choice of the two provoked the most fierce civil war in the City of Mist. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 11 Dawn in the Night. A civil war breaks out, and the Misty City is reduced to ruins, blurring the lines between light and dark. Chen Chen was severely injured in a raid and his life was in danger. Chen Feng hugged him and cried among the ruins, don't leave me, Chen Chen. Suddenly, the familiar sound of the piano sounded again, and Yeokin's figure appeared like a phantom. She stretched out her hand and injected light into Chen Chen's body. Chen Chen slowly opened his eyes and felt an unprecedented power surging in his body. Wake up! Shen Feng's voice choked up. Chen Chen smiled, we still have an unfinished mission. The two rise again, determined to rebuild the shattered city of Misty into a true home of light. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 12 The Other Side of the Unknown. After the war, the Misty City was reborn, but the door to the other world was still locked. Shen Feng and Chen Chen knew that their story was not over yet. They stood on the city walls, looking out at the misty shore in the distance. Chen Chen said, there are some mysteries that always need brave people to uncover. Shen Feng nodded, his eyes shining with determination, no matter how unknown the future is, we will go on together. Flowers bloom on the other side, and in the depths of the fog, a new chapter is slowly unfolding. Chapter 13 The Mystery of Shadows. The reconstruction of the City of Misty is in full swing, and Shen Feng and Chen Chen become a new generation of leaders who unite survivors with faith and rebuild their homes. However, a mysterious shadow force quietly infiltrated the city's shadows. These shadows are silent, but they can control people's hearts, sow discord and make former allies start to suspect each other. One night, Chen Chen felt a strange aura in the city square, and vaguely saw a pair of red eyes flickering in the darkness. Shen Feng, this is not an ordinary enemy, the shadow is devouring us from within. Chen Chen said nervously. Shen Feng analyzed calmly, we must find the source of the shadow and cut off its roots. The two embark on a secret investigation and discover that the shadow originates from a forgotten former watchman, Black Orchid. Helan was once the strongest of the illusion watchers, but due to his pursuit of forbidden powers, he was expelled from the organization and lurked in the shadows. In retaliation, she spreads a dark miasma in an attempt to subvert the entire Misty City. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 14 Black Orchid's Conspiracy. Mei Lan muttered in the dark cavern, dark power enveloping her body like a living poisonous snake. This city will eventually become an altar for my revenge. Shen Feng and Chen Chen led the elite team deep into the cave, facing waves of shadow soldiers controlled by Helan. They navigate through the darkness, the air filled the air with the scent of death. Finally, deep in the cave, the two ushered in a decisive battle with Helan. Helan wielded a dark wand and spat out clouds of poisonous mist, trying to corrupt their souls. Chen Chen used the secret method he learned in the other world to condense a light shield to resist Helan's attack. Shen Feng seized the opportunity and broke into the Helan defense circle, and the two worked together to defeat her. Before dying, Helan cursed, do you think killing me will end the darkness? Darkness will always exist. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 15 The Truth is Revealed. After the defeat of Milan, the Misty City temporarily returned to calm. Shen Feng and Chen Chen returned to the Gate of Remembrance and accidentally found an ancient manuscript from behind the door. The manuscript records an unknown history, the other world and reality are actually two sides of the same coin, and the balance between the two maintains the order of the world. Nighthawk and Illusion Warden are actually organizations born to control this balance. Shen Feng muttered to himself. Chen Chen flipped through the manuscript with a serious expression, we must be the guardians of this balance, not the destroyers. The two know that only by accepting the power of the other world and learning to control it can they truly protect this world. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 16 A New Beginning. The residents of the City of Mist began to learn how to coexist with the energy of the other world, and the city slowly rejuvenated in the interweaving of light and shadow. Shenfeng and Chen Chen stood on the high platform, looking at the city illuminated by the morning light. We have finally gone through those darkest days. Chen Chen sighed. Shenfeng smiled, but the real protection has just begun. The two agreed that no matter how challenging the future is, they will move forward hand in hand to protect this hard-won peace. Underscore 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 un. Ending oath under the flower on the other side. As the sun sets, the flowers of the other shore bloom like fire and the mist lingers gently. Shenfeng and Chen Chen sat side by side in the flowers on the other side, recalling the ups and downs along the way. The fog of the past made us lost, but it also taught us to be brave. Shenfeng held Chen Chen's hand. Chen Chen looked back at him, his eyes shining with determination. No matter what the road ahead is, we will face it together. The figures of the two were elongated by the sunset and turned into the most beautiful light among the flowers on the other side. This is a story of loss, struggle, and rebirth, and a legend that will never end. Underscore 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 un. Postscript. Start with a disappearing man and embark on a bizarre adventure. Shenfeng and Chen Chen, two people with very different personalities but closely connected by fate, faced the test of mysterious organizations, otherworldly powers, and dark treachery, and finally found their true selves in shattering and rebirth. This story tells how light and darkness coexist in the depths of human nature, and how courage and faith lead us out of the fog and reach the unknown shore. May every reader find their own light in the fog.